Welcome back to A Closer Look. Chesapeake Public Schools has partnered with the Chesapeake Police and Fire Department to conduct a training exercise that will provide school employees with hands-on experience in reacting to an active threat situation. Here to tell us about the upcoming exercise is Supervisor of Safety and Security at Chesapeake Public Schools, Ed Ewing, Assistant Fire Marshal Captain Steve Bradley, and Senior Police Officer Leo Kaczynski. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Now, what is the Active Threat Response Exercise?
The Active Threat Response Exercise is a coordinated planned event that's been about a year in the making, that we've worked closely with police and fire department to ensure that what we're doing in the schools is lining up with their policies for response and ensuring that we're providing the safest environment we can for our students and faculty.
Now, when and where will the exercise take place?
The exercise will take place on August the 15th at Hickory High School and will begin at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Who is going to participate in the event?
We are partnering again with the police and fire department, so there will be a strong group from them out there doing their part of the response pieces, and then all of our building administrators have attended mandatory trainings throughout the year that have been ongoing leading up to this. So we'll have our teachers from the school as well as administrators from across the division participating in this exercise.
So what type of training will the participants receive?
So Karen, on this exercise, which like Ed mentioned, it's been over a year in planning, the goal here is for all participants to receive training and the ability to exercise the active threat response plan. Part of that was a series of training evolutions that was done systematically in coordination with the police department that addressed school admin and staff, all public safety responders, and it looked at tactical first aid, lockdown procedures, current policies and procedures, and just gave us an opportunity to evaluate those prior to the drill. And then our goal is throughout this drill to reevaluate it and make adjustments as necessary. So this gives us kind of a real-life simulation of what we can expect, and then we hope to learn from that and make adjustments.
And this would be applicable to all the schools in the area, even though it's taking place at Hickory?
Yeah, that is correct. All of our administrators are taking all this information back to their buildings.
Okay, and you mentioned the goals for the fire department. What are the other goals for this exercise for other departments?
Well, it's like the captain just said, we want to make sure that our response in the buildings lines up with their response for a crisis management, and we want to make sure that our partnership remains strong and that we don't have any gaps, so to speak, in what we're doing on our end until they get there and do their part on their end.
So you mentioned some goals for the fire department. Are there goals for other departments as well?
Well, we're really working in conjunction again with the police and fire, and we all have our own set objectives, if you will, for our role in a crisis management. And what this drill is going to allow us to do is bring all those components to the table and make sure that we have everything kind of worked out. And again, like the captain said, we'll take some things back from this, and we have to restructure some things. We'll do that. Our goal is to provide the safest environment that we can.
And what I mentioned, that I'll add to that active threat response has really evolved over the past several years, and all of the agencies represented here, our goal is to stay in line with what best practices are. We want to make sure that our citizens and our students and our staff are safe should a situation like this occur. The fire department's goal is to look at our response in responding alongside law enforcement in the development of rescue task force, the treatment and triage of patients, and then the removal and the transportation of those patients. So that's kind of what we're focused on. But the ability for us to respond alongside the police department is really key here.
So what can the community expect on the day or the days prior to the training?
Well, leading up to it, it's like Mr. Ewing was saying, it's at Hickory High School, which is in southern part of Chesapeake. South Battlefield runs right by the school, and then there's another side road, so it's kind of down out of the way, but there could be some traffic, some traffic issues. We'll have electronic signs set up in the area. in about a week or so leading up to it, just saying what's going on there. It's training.
Right.
There'll be an obvious noticeable police and fire presence at the school that day. So, just to let everybody know that it is a training exercise, and there'll most likely be uniformed officers kind of at the perimeter around the building, just so that the participants can have a safe area to do the training, to do the exercise.
So there may be some traffic that's impacted.
Could be, yeah.
But also, a lot of times I would imagine that if someone's driving past a scene, they're going to be slowing down and stopping.
Exactly.
And wondering what's happening. So you
Right.
may potentially get some phone calls.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So just to let everybody know that it is a training event.
So where can the community look for additional information? Now, I know like we're doing the show just to let the community know that's going on, and the police department will as well. But if someone wants additional information, where should they go for that?
They can start by looking at the Chesapeake Public Schools webpage. There's a link on there for safety. If they click on that, there'll be additional information and possibly some contact information as well.
Now, I know school safety has become quite a big issue lately. How can the community best support this event and other city initiatives in regard to safety?
As far as safety goes, we would just ask that people continually be aware of things around them. If you're a parent or even a student in the division, we ask that if you see something, to say something, let an person of authority know, whether it be police or fire, or even the building administrator, with an issue that you think is a concern. What we don't want to see, and unfortunately does happen from time to time, is people will post things on social media that
Right.
should be addressed by either police or fire or the schools or all three. And we would like to have them contact us directly, depending on what they perceive as the issue.
So someone may go on and complain or have questions on social media, but it's so important to get your answers from the source.
Right.
Yeah, that's correct. And give us an opportunity to address it, because a lot of times we see things on social media that that's how we find out about it. There's even a concern. Nobody, in some cases,
Right.
don't contact either police or fire or the school. They'll choose to post it on social media, and that delays our response to address it.
So how big is an exercise like this? And you mentioned it takes maybe a year to plan it. What's involved with that? Obviously, a lot of coordination with city departments, but
Yeah, one thing that this exercise is going to allow us to practice is like the public communication aspect of an incident
Right.
of this scale, which is something that we rarely get to exercise. We're fortunate not to have had this particular event occur in
Right.
Chesapeake, but we want to prepare ourselves should it happen. So the reunification process is very important. That's something that we are looking forward to exercising, where we can kind of map out how best to reunify parents, staff, and children or students
right.
as well. There's going to be an inpouring of people seeking information, both from local and national media. So we need to make sure that our ability to communicate with one voice is where it needs to be. We can do that, we know, by social media, websites that are available within the city. So that's going to allow us to use those as well.
Right.
It would also be a good time for our tactical team, our SWAT team, and some of our school resource officers to actually practice the tactical aspect
Right.
of how to go in there and neutralize a threat.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate your coming on to talk about this exercise. It's so important, and we all hope that it never is a reality, but in the event, hopefully we're prepared as we can be. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We have to take a quick break, but up next we'll find out about a new program for high school students. Don't go away.